should have caught us off camera, but we still hide. Okay, as we were saying, go ahead, Charlotte, say what you were saying.
I'm just saying, it's part of your upbringing. It's how you perceive yourself and how you were raised. My mother raised us that ain't nothing in life for free. You gotta work for everything. Since we was 6, we was doing something.
Yeah.
We was washing the car, washing the floor, cooking, cutting up some onions or something.
Yeah.
Because she wants you to know your value, your worth. You are worth something.
That's
so if you can accumulate whatever, however old you become, when you accumulate what you have, don't bring somebody in that's gonna take away.
And that's gonna distract you.
Bring somebody in that's gonna add to that. If they can't add, I'll be your friend. I'll say hi. You'll speak. Yeah, we can go eat. But you can't be a part of this because I built this. You can't take from this.
Yes.
No.
And
I think highly of myself. They don't know that.
That's yeah.
So if you take it from that, I'm not gonna be rude. I've told many of dudes, no.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna call you. So.
Yeah. Don't bother. And it's things like with us, we were raised in a very strict environment, and my mom taught us the value because she was a single mother of 10 kids. So she taught us how to value. Yeah, she was a single mother with 10 of us, okay? And all of us had different personalities, and so she raised us all to where she taught us, you know, how to value ourselves, how to be independent. But still, we got out there, and we still, somewhere along the line, I don't know if it happened, you get taught at home positive things, but then you get in school, and you get around friends, and you start realizing it's and then, you know, this influence comes on you, and then after a while, you begin to feel insecure or like you don't fit in. And some of us, we turn to that, we become followers, or we become, you know, to where we let men use us, or things like that, because we want to fit in. And her case, she was a beautiful woman. She could have had anybody she wanted. Yeah, and she's beautiful. Yeah.
That you grew up with, or the ones that you got, you know, the light-skinned ones, are the ones with the long hair.
Yeah.
Like, you see them later, you be like,
yeah, you know, and you would think.
maybe daddy wear.
Yeah, and it was sad. The thing about it is, all her friends got proposals, got married. That was what she desired, but everybody wanted her. Pretty much, men just looked at her as a trophy piece. They wanted this beautiful thing, but none of them wanted to marry her. So she was tired of living in the wrong. Yeah, she was looking for love in the wrong places. Yeah, she was all in the wrong places looking for love. So by the time she was in her 30s, she wants somebody. But in her mind, she's thinking, okay, he's treating me special. Same guy. In the back of her mind, she knew that was the same old arrogant guy she had been with years ago. But in her mind, she was learning. And she was thinking, okay, maybe it's different. Maybe this time he's going to ask me to marry him. And a lot of us as women, we assume. We don't ask that guy. He's whining, he's dining us, we sleeping with him, so he loves us.
And anytime a woman sleeps with a man, you're going to get confused anyway because your emotions is now stirred up in it. You can play as long as you want.
Yeah.
But especially if you get to a certain age and then you have all these influences around you, you're going to play yourself.
Yeah.
Don't sleep with him. You're going to play yourself.
That's what it is.
That's guaranteed.
With the man, then y'all jump in now. Now with the man, it's like, they just getting how you say it? Getting their pleasures. They not thinking about love. Are y'all? No. Anyway, are y'all? I'm keeping it real, okay? With all heart. But at the end of the day, I'm not talking about now as Christians. Come on.
Well, as a Christian man.
Not as Christians, you know, back then. Okay, as a Christian man. And not as a Christian man.
Not as a Christian. When I was not a Christian, you know, I still had my training, you know, my home training that my parents gave me, you know, from the father, my stepfather, my mom. Still had the home training center was. So my mom taught me how to respect women, period. So I wasn't trying to look to just go into their bedroom and say, let's go and get our groove on. Well, I talk crazy to them all day long. I talk crazy, we gonna talk crazy. But as far as, you know, disrespecting as far as sex is concerned, we wasn't going there. Because I always felt, you know, I heard my mom, my dad voice, no, you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this. You respect them because you want somebody to respect you. Second point is, you know, now that I'm a Christian man, you know, is that I still carry on their home training, but now it's got the godly influence now. You know, it's all biblical based. So I'm like, my mom, they wasn't far off the mark when they was telling me this stuff. Because I'm like, as a dude coming up in the home, and you got your mom, you got your step, you got your two sisters, I'm like, what are we supposed to be doing right here? Y'all should be a little more lenient on me. But I'm glad she wasn't. Like Charlotte said, you know, I learned how to cook and clean, I learned how to sew, I learned how to do everything the females know how to do at 6 years old. Now I can cook better than my sister do, I clean better than my sister do, but at the same time, I know who I am as a male factor. Got all this other stuff going on, but the thing is that there was a young lady who wanted to date. My mom pushed the issue, pushed me. You better get married to this girl. You can take her out on a date, you can do that. I said, Mom, you want to be with her, you go take her out on a date, you go marry her. You know, because I'm all about, you know, pointing their training back to them. You told me to be friends first. You know, and if I can be a friend, that can be solidified. We can evolve into a relationship if you're the right person. Because I'm a little special sometimes. I'm tell you straight.
A lot of times.
Yeah, it's gonna take that right person to deal with me. Because sometimes I can be sometimes I can be real relaxed sometimes. You know, it depends on where I'm at that particular day. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered. You know, you just got to know who you're dealing with. But if you're not my friend, you're not that close and personal and intimate with me as a friend, you're not going to never know. You're going to be like, all right, Rob over here tripping. He don't want it. You know, so fine. But my mom always told me, respect women, period. I don't care whether I was out in the streets dealing dope like I was, doing drugs. And you know, when you deal with drugs, it's coming at you like you Good Lord. You know, but I wasn't that type of person. I'm still not that type. So old girl got upset because I didn't date her. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not some low-class prostitute. You're not going to buy me. Every time I say I want something, she said, keep it real. Every time I say I want something, you don't go out to the mall and say, oh, I see this gold Turkish roll. She going to the mall, spending her check. I can get into this, hold on. You know, oh, I see these jeans. She, oh, I got into something. Can I talk to her? My mom's sure, baby, come on in. I'm looking like, why she letting her in the house? You know, all this other stuff, but I looked at it like she was trying to buy me. Instead of told me home trainer said, you're not somebody that's for sale. Value yourself more than that. So just because I lean back on that, I kind of come to it. But she saw it later on.
But you have men that will allow a woman to buy them.
Oh, I'll allow her to buy. Don't get me wrong. I had to stop refusing because it got volatile. She gonna buy it. But I had to cut it off at some point. I had to cut it off at some point because it got volatile.
See?
You
let them know?
I let them know, like, you can do that, but like,
Don't expect
nothing else.
Don't get
I mean, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? We go pick out the size and color.
Everything, but it don't.
My brother wants some too. Cause see, I'll throw it out there. Cause I like to fish. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
And it was to the point, and I know you ain't feeling because my brothers, they always dated dumb girls. It was to the point when I was in school, we made them pay for my rental cars for my prom, buy my clothes, do everything. I know exactly what you talking about.
Oh my God.
Do it.
for real.
And they out there. They are really there.
But I would let them know.
But
Yeah, we talking about my
there's
jacket.
some you can't let go. There's some you can't let go.
And they
But they still be there.
There's some that find out they'll try to have an attitude for 2 weeks and they'll come back.
Yeah.
Or then they want to be
Because
best
after the girl
friends
found
with
out
the
she
sister.
felt like she was only married for 2 months.
They want to be best friends.
She can pay him.
Jesus.
Thank you.
What's wrong? That's just.
Because she probably was lonely, just wanted a man.
And he wasn't my dude. He wasn't with me. That was her dude.
She was paying your bills.
She was
Yes,
with me.
because he knew.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
But
no.
the thing still remains to me. I don't care who, I mean, you know, with these men and these women, you out there and you date them. I see so many women, girl, he won't let me drive his car. He won't let me touch this. But you let him touch your body. What's wrong with that picture?
Thank you,
I'm sorry, I have never dated a man to where I could not drive his car. I didn't have any access to what you got. You know, and that's, to me, was crazy because, like I said, the red flags, and like we all said in the story, the red flags was number one, you gave him the number. Number two, the minute he showed up perturbed, I'm going to ask you, what's wrong with you? You know, I want to know Why you mad? I'm screaming. You know, I want to know why you mad. But in that case, you know, he showed up mad. He was perturbed. She was in his face.
Right then.
Yeah. Wasn't that a red flag right there? Would you not have asked him, why are you showing up, and you kind of perturbed?
Well, the second red flag for me would have been the fact that if I'm, say I was a female, but if I'm sitting up here and I'm dating you, and you turn around, I can't come to your house, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if
It's a problem from start, cause ain't nobody walking up in line.
I don't know.
Yes.
if
And we can't go to yours, you trolling, cause you was there.
And from my perspective, you know, we like to keep it on the L, so it's like, hey, you know, baby girl, what's up? You
That's
know,
it.
come over here, we gonna hang out, we gonna kick it, we gonna do whatever we gonna do, I'm gonna take a shower, we gonna go home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll call you like, 2:30 tomorrow AM, you know what I'm saying? 2:30 tomorrow AM, when I creep out my house and come to your crib, and it's on again.
Yeah.
Because I already know I'm in it.
And see,
Some of the beginning, they were good with 2:30.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of females is like, you know, why don't you can spend the night as long as you over, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You can sleep in my bed, I don't want to sleep in your bed. I'll sleep on the couch, you wherever your bed is.
I'm scared. No, but see, in the beginning, they were back and forth at each other's houses. But the thing of it was, he didn't want nothing touched. He didn't want nothing out of place. So in the beginning, just to get her where he wanted her, they would take turns at each other's houses. And then all of a sudden, it stopped. And then he began to shower her with all these extravagant gifts. But see, in the story, the extravagant gifts were what he wanted. It wasn't really what she wanted. It was things that made him comfortable while he was there.
Yes.
But in her mind, she's thinking, ooh, look at all these nice things he's
That's
buying.
emotionalism.
Yeah.
You know how to work it.
Yeah, see, and so she's falling, and he's buying these gifts, and she's thinking, ooh, look what he's doing for me. He was doing it for himself. He was doing it for himself all along, and as long as she was this beautiful trophy that could be on his arm, you got money, I got money, we live in large now. She got broke. Oh no, you cramping my stock.
As soon as that happened,
I look at this
he
like,
can't
you blame it on him, I blame it on her, she had to go through that. I think that was something God put her through anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
She already
She put all,
The Lord, see, we put ourselves through a whole lot of stuff. The Lord said, don't do it.
and after she did, like
And
you
she
said,
already
she
knew
built
how he
so
was,
big.
because that's how he was
And
in
he
the
built her up,
in
and
the
he
back.
built her up the way, he built her all this, and she put all her trust in him, she put all of this in this man and not God.
Yeah.
And so God is just like, okay, I'll let you do all of that. So she got they put her in that situation, she went through that situation, she came back out of it, but it was just like she had to go through
She
that.
had to
hard lesson learned.
It's a hard
She
lesson.
lost everything.
And it takes that sometimes, but to me, when he told me I'm not a Christian, I'm taking a break from church, when you not have,
Conversation was over.
it would have been
See,
should
back in
have
the
been.
day, you could say, oh, I'm a church boy, they be like, oh, dog, he talking. Now they try to thank you. They be like, oh, really? That's good. Me and the Lord got our own personal relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I know the Lord.
Back in the days when you was a church girl and the guys found out that you was a church girl, they wouldn't even speak to you.
Exactly.
You was like a disease.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They respected you, but they wouldn't try to give it to you.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they wouldn't try to.
They wouldn't.
Now then, on another coin, it was some that said little church girls was like freaks.
But then when no.
Yeah, that was church.
That was down the line now. You would hear the story. So you heard it on both sides of the coin. You know, it was like, sometime it would say, you know, I used to know some guys and they used to say, if you want a freak, go get a church.
Church.
Go to the church.
That's my brother.
They used to say things like that. And so you get it both ways to where some of them would look, because I guess they knew which ones.
I think they
They
know.
don't-
I think
I
they know
think
if they
they
get
sense
you,
it.
they gonna turn you out.
They gonna,
So
yeah,
then you is gonna be a little free.
you gonna be a little.
But that's if they get you.
That's if they get you.
It's true.
Most of them ain't just sitting up in church.
But no. No, that's not true. That's not true. Because if a new man right now walks through that church door, he know who we can take out with. Because
That's
they
right.
turn around and
That's
look at
today.
Hey, you know why?
He can even
why
sit in
you
church and enjoy the service without people in there looking and lusting at him. So they automatically know who they can have when they
Say
get
it.
They do today,
Because
because
if
ain't
it's
no
not there, because
virgin
if it's not
sitting
there.
up in no church today.
But if it's not,
You
if it's
can
not,
count on
it's
one
not
hand.
turned around.
But it's
You
the
can
man.
count on one hand,
It's
and
the
I
man.
guarantee you, they 13 and
ask them a little offering in.
That's
But
right.
they know.
Come on with
That's
it.
why it's
And I already know you
the
gonna
spirit
call me.
know the spirit.
That's
Try
right.
the spirit by the spirit.
That's
Okay.
right.
True.
So you want to
But
hear
you
what
gonna
I'm
try
saying?
the
You
spirit
gonna
and
know
see
who
if
you
you
are.
God.
Because
You
you
ain't
want
gonna buy
the
the
next
spirit
person
no
there.
way.
Y'all gonna know each other. Because
Yeah,
y'all
let's
sitting
go
there.
connect.
That's right.
Let's go connect. That's
Yeah,
right.
you
Let's go
gonna
connect.
know who you are.
Cause
That's
flesh
right.
attracts flesh.
Exactly. That's it.
That's why you see the men coming to church, sit on the back row a couple of Sundays and they out. They got what they want.
They got what they want.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
right. And in this case, he didn't have to come to the church.
Because the church ain't
Yeah.
here.
That's what happened. She went right.
Tell them what you want.
Like I said, you come to get it, you got it already.
So in this case, yeah, okay. So even though she's saying to this man, I'm a Christian, I'm a born again Christian, but it didn't stop him from moving straight
Thinking what
ahead.
you doing already in love, number one.
Huh?
She was there for an engagement party, but I mean, first of all, red flag. You meet a man at a club.
But they already knew each other.
I understand that, but still.
That's another thing. If you get to a point where if I don't see you for 10 years and then you can call me and we can start speaking together,
Yeah, yes.
that's what you thought of me before.
Yeah,
And
y'all
I honestly ain't really changed.
Yeah.
But if I do not see you for 10 years and then you get my number and I let you know I ain't going down. It was cool
Yeah.
back in the day, but it ain't going down.
That's
Then
it.
that means
But
you
that's
moved,
why he
that means
asked
you
him for the
matured.
number. Then he know where he can go after he got that
Exactly.
number.
Because
But to me,
They already
I
knew
was
that
engaged.
vibe
I
was
mean,
there.
you know,
Exactly.
They knew what they was gonna do.
Right.
yeah, because the man she gave the number, the door was open.
Yeah.
The Satan was creeping in right
And
there.
the
The
Lord,
number
but see,
was
God knows
cracked.
everything. God knew she wasn't ready for that. God knew that she hadn't changed from who she was
Yeah,
before.
that's true.
So that's why the Spirit said,
Do not give me the number.
You ain't ready for this. You not ready for that.
I didn't know that they had nothing up in the
We
club.
not ready.
But and by her, to me, and by her being to me, how the scripture comes to mind, what fellowship is darkness with the light?
That's
She
right.
had no business
Well,
there.
here's the scripture though. Warning comes before destruction.
And you know, and then we not deceived, bad company corrupts good morals.
That's
So
right.
here we are, you with this man, and he's telling you straight up, he's telling you straight up.
She had a chance to let you could barely trust being in the church. Why you gonna trust?
Yeah, okay, he's telling her straight up, I'm not going to church.
If she would have went Bible Gates on him, he would have left her alone.
That's
Because if she was really a Christian, when he called her phone, she
Yeah.
was like, such and such is, you know, because when you start talking to a man about God and he ain't
Oh,
into
it ain't
God,
God,
he
he
ain't
ain't
gonna
gonna
stick
stick
around. Yeah, he will not stick around.
But the door was cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, let's read the
So
Bible.
he knew how far he could go with it, that's what he
Let's look at what it really is. Let's look at what it is. I'm gonna take you on a date. You start talking about God. I know about God.
Right.
So I got enough sense to flow with your conversation.
Yeah.
People game. I got enough sense. Am I right? Hell yeah. I got enough sense. I got enough sense.
Yeah.
If I got my people in right, if I got my player card on this right, I'm telling you, I got enough sense to flow
But
with
he
your
wouldn't
conversation.
even go to church with
But
her.
here, I don't care about not going to church. I got enough sense to flow with your conversation, because while we rapping on the phone, check it out. Well, baby girl, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Lady, I don't mean to call you. You know what I'm saying? I'm straightening up everything about me to make it look like I'm super mature and I'm on your level. But as soon as I get you where I need you to be, I'm gonna flip the script on you. Turn the page, if you will. As soon as I turn the page, it's gonna be on the graphic. Because now I got you on the level of God, which you want to be on anyway. I can't go to church with this Sunday. How about we go to the movies after church?
That's
As soon as we go to the movies, I'm gonna take you out to dinner. I'm gonna wine and dine you. Because eventually, I'm gonna get where I need you.
Somebody else told me last night, he said, if a guy knows that you're strong, especially in the church, and he knows that you're strong, he said he's gonna say whatever he needs
To say,
to get to you, to get to you to a point where he said he's not gonna let you know he's trying to break you down, but that's his motive.
That's his motive.
He's trying to break you down to see
It's
how far
subtle.
you gonna go.
Yeah.
It's real subtle.
And I said,
I'm glad. Thank God.
yeah, see, and you will have some that will
Thank God.
even,
I'm lucky.
yeah, you know, some will even come to church with you for a couple of Sundays to make it look good.
and see what everybody in the church while you in the church.
Why you waiting on me?
You know, and what have you, so you impressed, you know, you sitting there impressed, he came to church with me, you know? That thing said, you know, and he came to church with me, so you impressed.
tell the truth and quit playing.
I tell you,
If you gonna sit up here and say, if you really listen, you can be ever so just engulfed in what this man is saying. Your emotions can get so high with this thing to the point that you just turn off your own self-righteousness, turn off your own self-esteem and say, hey, my morals is low as hell, baby. What's up? You know, because he done built you in already. Come on. You know, you done let your standard down, you done let your walls down, your guard, your defenses down. So he like the snake that just come in like, ooh, let me win my way through this territory right here. As soon as I get right there, bam, get that good venom up in you, you like, ooh.
He ain't got to go to church.
If you haven't matured, yes, that's the level you will be on.
I guess
But
I've
once you
never
reach
met
a certain level, you know what's up.
I've never met that man.
You know what? I'm just saying. I ain't that type of woman, I'm just saying.
Keisha said she can figure them out. Keisha said.
And the only reason why I tell you that, because growing up, I never hung with females.
Yes.
I was always around men. So I've heard the lines, I've seen it all done. But when they come to me and I hear the same thing they done told my homegirl down the street, the other thing, it's like,
First of all,
it's for real.
I ain't talking to a nigga that talks to my homegirl.
Yeah.
No, not like that. You know, the homegirl down the street. Cause, you know what I mean? Yeah, cause I can tell you how many men I've been with on one hand.
One.
And I'm 33 years old.
Get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not, I am very confident in myself.
Yeah.
I can walk out this door right now, and whatever man I want, I can have.
That's right.
I am not.
That's right.
So the point being is, what I'm saying is,
That's right.
anybody can whisper in my ear that I am the man.
It's a fire.
We're talking about a man talking to a woman whose self-esteem has broken down.
Right,
Now,
right.
if you got self-esteem, that's great. But don't think that there won't be a man that can get you.
Because
Don't ever think that. Because he can be on your level. He can be on your level. He can do what you do. And he can get you. He can get you. He can get you. He can be the one that he can even ask you to marry. He can even ask you to marry.
It's true.
If you down here, he can even ask you to marry. He can be on that level, and you can say yes, and still get tricked. You can marry him and still get tricked. Don't play yourself, because some people say keep your friends close and your enemies close. Honey, you can sleep with the enemy.
That's right, too.
Play yourself. Play yourself. You can sleep with the enemy.
Y'all all in church.
You can sleep.
listen to this female for the male factors. You listen to it, and all of a sudden, you forget, or you just totally just back up off of everything that's right. And you just say, okay, let me just give in one time. It only takes, and they say you give the devil an inch, and you'll take him out. You know what I'm saying? If you give enough rope, you'll hang yourself. So
Because
that's
if that
all
was
we
the
say.
case, nobody would have ever got their heart broken. Ever. Because you would have listened and you would have known that you
And
could.
then I was just like, well, we don't have, I mean, we all have been there, but it takes a point where it don't work. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying I ain't never done it before, but you get to that point. I got to get to this right away like, yeah.
Yes, that is. Yes, that is.
Okay, so what we saying, okay, so bringing it in, what Keisha was saying, pretty much, you were saying that you never got to that point to where
Well, I met a man that just broke you down and just snuck you in and gave you, you know, I never met that man.
We're saying you never met him, but we're not telling you that he doesn't exist.
That's where the conversation came from.
But we're not telling
I
you he
never
doesn't.
met
We're
him.
saying he actually
but we
exists.
saying,
The brother-
okay, and then
the
some
brother
of us
actually
are
exists.
saying,
Of course they exist.
Yeah,
they will be
I,
one.
she never experienced,
From my
but
I
we
have
have,
met him.
some of us have experienced
You say
to
keep
where,
living.
yeah, okay, some of us have experienced to where we did get broke down, and we did get to a place to where we thought this was it, and we thought we had it going on, we was confident in chapter 5, we was confident, we was this, that, and the other, but that person, okay, okay, that person chipped away, and they did everything that you wanted in a man